Hello friends, good morning and welcome to this new class. Hope you are all keeping fine. So we had a very hefty week and we covered a lot of portions, and I hope you are also studying it regularly. Otherwise we will be sending you classes and you just keep it there and nobody benefits from it. So try to watch and read your textbooks and write your notes. So do all that is required of you and try to get maximum advantage of it. So do not waste your time, do not have reason to regret later. So make use of your time at present and do well in your studies. And I hope you remember what we have been studying. We are studying about the soil and the importance of soil and so on. And we saw how much land we have and how this land is made use for different purposes and so on. And we also saw that a lot of wasteland is there in India. Some of them are because of waterlogging. Some of them are because where the trees are growing, which has become a waste forest land and so on. So today we shall see how soil as a resource is functioning, how we can call soil as a resource. So that is the topic today, as a resource. And I am quite sure you will have no doubt about soil as a natural resource. So let's see how it becomes useful for us, how it becomes beneficial for us as a resource. You can follow in your textbook, page number 7. So soil is the most important renewable natural resource. You can underline. Soil is the most important renewable natural resource. And it is the medium of plant growth and supports different types of living organisms. So, as we have already said in the previous classes, the soil is the support system where the plants are growing, where the animals are growing. So, they are all on the soil. We cannot imagine that they are living always in the air. The birds may be able to fly sometime in the air, but when they are tired, they have to sit on the soil or on the tree. Tree is growing on the soil. So ultimately, it is the soil that is supporting everything, and so the soil is very important. And you can see the picture given there, the structure of soil. So we can say at the bottom level, the hard rock is there. It is a hard rock, very solid, very strong rock is there. That is at the deep bottom level. Then above that, what happens? Above that there are this part of this rock, but it is already no more strong. It started breaking. So it started cracking and becoming small pieces. So this is the at the bottom level very hard rock, but this is broken rock. They started breaking. So this is the parental rock. Before this also was hard like this, but because of the weather, because of the climate, because of the temperature and so, the top part started slowly breaking into pieces. Then above that we will find the continuation of this one. This is broken, but more broken. More than this one has been broken. So it is broken into more small pieces. This is more soft, more broken, more almost becoming like powder. So that is because what is on the top is experiencing more pressure or experiencing more heat and so on. Therefore, it is affecting the structure of the soil, and rock is powdered and almost becoming soft soil. And on top you will find the top soil. On top you will find very fine, fine soil where these trees are growing, grass is growing, or that. So that is a top soil. It is very soft, and this is becoming slowly powder. So this is a top soil which is very soft where we do all the cultivation, everything. Then below that, if you dig some more, you will find stones, broken stones, not very hard, not very big in size, but small broken pieces. And if you dig down again more deep, we will find little more bigger stones that are they are also broken but more bigger than the stones. As we go deeper and deeper, we will find stones becoming more and more hard, more and more big in size. And if you go still down, we will find the big huge rock unbroken, not affected by weather or temperature or anything. So when we find some minerals under the earth, we may have to dig deep down below this parental rock, below this hard rock. That's why the machines need to do the drilling. So make hole in this hard rock and go down, because minerals may be inside this rock or under below this rock and so on. So we need to dig deep. So this is a structure of the soil on the earth where we are living. So very often we come into contact with only the top layer soil, which is very soft, which is very fertile and so on. But if you dig deep down, you will find the type of the soil, the nature of the soil is changing. It is becoming harder and harder, and different type of rocks you will find. Some are weathered by the temperature, weathered by the climate and so on. And we know the soil is a living system. The soil is a living system. Why do we say soil is living? The animals, the plants, they are all living. But can we also say the soil is also living? Why do we say soil is living? Let's see. It takes millions of years to form soil up to a few centimeters in depth. So, if you want 1 centimeter, 1 millimeter, or 1 centimeter, let's say 1 centimeter. 1 centimeter means 10 millimeters. So, if you want this few centimeters depth, if you want this much thick soil, it will take millions of years. So, it is not a simple thing. That's why we call the soil is a living organism. It is growing. Soil is changing. It is growing. And from where do we get soil? By breaking of this rock. So, because of this rocks breaking, slowly these rocks will be broken and it will be turned into powder and it will become soil. So it will take millions of years, not 100 or 200 years, but millions of years will take to get these rocks powdered and slowly turn into soft soil to reach the top level soft soil. So that's why we say the soil is a living organism. Then relief, parent rock or bedrock, climate, vegetation and other forms of life and time are important factors in the formation of soil. You can underline what are the important factors in the formation of soil. What are they? First of all, it is relief, that is the shape of the earth, the relief pattern, and the parent rock, the down part of the rock. What type of rock it is? Is it very hard? If it is very hard, it will take a long time. If it is soft rock, then it is getting easy to powder. Then the climate, the temperature, whether it is a cold place or hot place, or the vegetation that is growing there. What kind of trees are growing in this region? If it is a very huge trees, then they will have very big roots are there, and the roots may come down deep down and it will enter into the gap of this broken stone, broken rocks. Then as the roots are becoming bigger and bigger, the stones will be moving far and far. So these roots of the tree will enter into the small cracks between the rock and the stone will be broken into pieces. So that's why the vegetation that is growing there also is affecting or deciding. It is a factor deciding about the formation of the soil. So all these are important factors. Let's say once again, which are the important factors in the soil formation. First of all, it is a relief, that is a physical feature of the land, whether it is a plain land or it is a hilly land or is it a mountain, all that. Then the type of rock, the type of parent rock, the hard rock bed is also called rock bed at the bottom level. Then what are the other things? Then the climate of that place, the temperature, whether it is high temperature or low temperature, and also the vegetation growing there, the trees that are growing there, that also is important factor in the formation of the soil. Then various forces of nature such as change in temperature, actions of running water, wind and glaciers, activities of decomposers, etc. contribute to the formation of the soil. So apart from the factors, we can also say there are some other things are also contributing to the formation of the soil. What are they? First of all, it is the various forces of change, various forces of nature, such as change in temperature. So the temperature change, the cold place suddenly become hot, or hot place suddenly become cold. So the change in temperature also can affect the formation of the soil. It will start slowly breaking the soil, breaking the rock, and slowly it will get powdered and become a soil. Then also actions of running water. So if the running water is there, the water is running through that way, flowing through that way, then it will affect the formation of the soil. The stones that will be carried away by the water. You can see in the river, a lot of stones are there, and most of their shapes are round, isn't it? They are all round stones because they keep on rolling in the river. So they hit on each other. So slowly they get disintegrated and become smaller and smaller, and they continue to remain that shape. No, there is no square stone, there is no long stone, and so on. Most of them are in oval shape. They are in the shape of the round or egg and so on. And it's because of water. And also if the water is flowing through that region, then it will carry all this stone, and slowly the stone will start getting powdered. Then other things are wind and glaciers. So wind also can help the formation of the soil. The wind also will carry the soil from one place to another. It also can affect the stones or locate in that soil in that location. And also the glaciers. Glaciers are big ice pieces. They remain mostly on top of the mountains. So in such places where there is glaciers are there, it also will be melting and water will be flowing down. Plus the temperature will be very low there. That also will cause the breaking of the rock and formation of the soil. Then there are activities of decomposers. There are a lot of decomposers are there. Small bacteria and other creatures that are helping to decompose the body, the animal body, or maybe the plant's body, and so on. They are decomposed because of the activities of small bacteria and other living creatures. So they also help the formation of the soil. How do they help? For example, if you bury a dead body of an animal or human being, a few years later, if you dig and see that place, you will find that body is no more there. You know, they are decomposed and become part of the soil. So whose activity it was? This activity of this small bacteria, small worms, and so on. So they also do this the formation of the soil. So that animal's body is turned into soil. So they are also part of formation of the soil. Then chemical and organic changes which take place in the soil are equally important. So in the soil lot of changes are taking place, like chemical. If you put some chemicals, then chemical change will take place, or due to organic activities there also will change place. So soil also consists of organic, that is humus, and inorganic materials. So in the soil we will find lot of organic materials are there and inorganic materials are also there. On top of the soil we will find lot of grass growing there or trees growing there, is it not, on top of the soil. Then we will see lot of leaves will be falling down from these trees and it will be settling down on top of the soil, and after some time what happens to these leaves? They get dry, they get rotten, and they become part of the soil. So this top part of the soil will be, you can say it will be black in color because of this leaves getting rotten and becoming part of the soil. That part is called humus. The topmost part where this grass is growing, the trees are growing, that is called humus. So that is mostly formed by falling down of this organic materials like leaves or maybe dead animals and so on. That is called humus. Then there are also inorganic activities are there, like minerals, inorganic matter like the minerals, chemicals, all that we are fixing in the soil. Then so that is in general about the soil. Now based on this information we can divide soil into different categories. We can classify them into different categories because we do not find same type of soil everywhere. Some places we find good soil or one color, another place we find another color, another place we find sandy soil and so on. So based on the quality or character of the soil we will be able to classify them into different groups. Let's see what are they. So India has very relief patterns, their relief features, landforms, climatic realms and vegetation types, and these have contributed to the development of various types of soil. So what are the features that have contributed, the factors that have contributed to the formation of various types of soil? What are they? One is relief features, that is the shape of the land, then the landforms, the climatic realms and vegetation types. You can underline. These are the four factors that have helped to the formation or development of different type of soil. One is relief features, another one is landforms, another one is climatic realms, another one is vegetation types. Now the first type of soil we shall see, that is the alluvial soil. Most important soil is alluvial soil. Alluvial soil. So this is the most widely spread and important soil. So alluvial soil is the most important soil and it is spread out widely. And in fact, the entire northern plains are made of alluvial soil. So the northern plain we find, last year you studied about northern plains in detail. The main rivers coming down from Himalaya, they are carrying a lot of alluvial soil and depositing in this northern plain. So the most of the soil in this northern plain, that is composed of alluvial soil. And these have been deposited by three important Himalayan rivers. They are Indus, Ganga and Brahmaputra. So these three big rivers flowing from Himalaya. They are bringing down lot of alluvial soil and depositing in this northern plains. And these soils also extend in Rajasthan and Gujarat through a narrow corridor. So from northern plain, it is even coming up to Rajasthan and Gujarat. Not in a very broad way, but in a very narrow way. It is entering up to Gujarat and Rajasthan also. Then alluvial soil is also found in the eastern coastal plains, particularly in the deltas of Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri. So in the eastern coastal plain, the eastern side, you will see in the map, the eastern coastal plain is here, and there are also four rivers are there: Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri flowing in this place. So these rivers are also bringing lot of alluvial soil. So we will find in the eastern coastal plain of India also having this type of soil, that is the alluvial soil. So wherever there are rivers, we can say the rivers will be bringing and forming lot of delta and by depositing this alluvial soil. Then the alluvial soil consists of various proportions of sand. So why we say this alluvial sand is very good for cultivation? The northern plains is composed of alluvial soil, and that's a very good soil for cultivation. Let's see why it is good for cultivation. So it is composed of, the alluvial soil is composed of, alluvial soil is composed of many elements. What are they? Sand, silt and soil. So you will find these four elements in this alluvial soil, and also sand, silt and clay. Sand, silt and clay. So the mixture of this soil, that is alluvial soil, and that is very good for farming, for agriculture. And as we move inland towards river valleys, so as we move towards the valley of different rivers, soil particles appear somewhat bigger in size. So as we come to the closer to the rivers, we find the soil particles are bigger in size. What is the reason? So as the river is carrying down from top of the mountain, it is carrying big pebbles, small particles of soil, sand, silt, everything. So the big ones will be left first. As the river is reaching the plain area, the big stones, big pebbles will be left at the close of the mountain, close of the river. Then little more small ones will be carried somewhat far distance, and very thin particles of soil will be carried the maximum distance. That's why we said as we come closer to the river valley, we find the pebbles are bigger in size. So the big stones will remain close to the river, other ones will be carried far away. So in the upper reaches of the river valley, that is near the place of the break of slope, the soils are coarse. So where this slope area is breaking, so the mountain is coming down and the slope area is over, now the plain area starts, that area is very coarse. Coarse means very rough. So it is not very soft soil but very rough, like mixed with pebbles, soil, sand and so on. And such soils are more common in Piedmont plains such as Dwars, Coarse and Terrai. So where do we find this coarse soil? That is in the Piedmont plain, that is at the foothills where this mountain stops and the plain area starts. That is called Piedmont plain. That is the foothill, at the foot of the hill. So there we will find these big pebbles are left there, and other minor particles or small particles are carried further by the river water. Then we will find there are some kind of plains are there, Piedmont plains, some kind of soils are there, this coarse soil which is mixed with big pebbles and so on. And we will find the Piedmont plains such as Duars, that is the name of the plain at the foothills. One is Duars, another one is Coarse, another one is Territe and so on. So apart from the size of their grains or components, soils are also described on the basis of their age. So we said the alluvial soil, it is not same everywhere. Some places is very hard, very cold, some places is very soft and so on. And also we can divide this alluvial soil on the basis of age. On the basis of, we can say old alluvial soil and new alluvial soil. We can divide them based on their age. So according to their age, alluvial soil can be classified old alluvial soil. Another name is Bangar. So Bangar is old alluvial soil. Okay, old alluvial soil. Another name for old alluvial soil is Bangar. And new alluvial soil is Kadhar. That is new. So we can divide them into two, Bangar and Kadhar, based on the age. So those soil that is deposited long ago, that is called Bangar. The fresh alluvial soil that is brought by the river, that is called Kadhar. And let's see what is the difference between the old alluvial soil and the new alluvial soil. So the Bangar soil has higher concentration of kankar. Bangar means the old alluvial soil, it has got more concentration of kankar. What is kankar? Kankar is the calcium element. So in this old alluvial soil, we will find more calcium contents. So that is good for cultivation of crops. Therefore, which soil is good for cultivation? New Kadhar, new alluvium soil or old alluvium soil? Old one is better because there is a lot of calcium contents are there. And it has more fine particles and is more fertile than Bangar. So Bangar and it has more fine particles and is more fertile than Bangar. But in matters of fertility, this one is better. New one is better because it gets fresh every year. The river brings down new soil every year. But the old one, it has got more calcium elements are there. It has got more calcium element, that is one advantage. But here the Kadhar soil is renewed every year because of the floods, and therefore it is more fertile. Here the fertility is low. The soil calcium elements are there but the fertility is low. But here calcium elements are less but the fertility is very high. Therefore this new Kadhar soil is good for cultivation. Then alluvial soils as a whole are very fertile. So this alluvial soil as a whole, whether it is old or new, as a whole, if we speak about, we can say it is very fertile. And mostly these soils contain adequate proportion of potash, phosphoric acid and lime, which are ideal for the growth of sugarcane. So this alluvial soil contains the elements of, what are the elements? It contains potash, phosphoric acid and lime. So these three are very adequately combined in this alluvial soil. Adequate elements, adequate measures of these three elements, that is potash, phosphoric and lime. And this combination of these three elements, that is very good, very suitable for the cultivation of sugar cane. Therefore, we can imagine one of the crops that will be growing where this alluvial soil is there will be sugar cane crop. Then other things like paddy, wheat and other cereal and pulse crops as well. So apart from sugar cane, this combination of potash and then phosphoric acid and lime, that combination is also suitable for the growth of paddy, wheat and other pulses. So which are the main crops can grow in this alluvial soil? Sugarcane, paddy, wheat and other pulses, other pulse crops. So almost everything we can say is suitable for growing here in this alluvial soil. That's why the northern plain is an area where 80% of the land is put to agricultural use. Many other states they have only 20% or 30% of the land is used for agriculture, while in this northern plain almost 80% of the land is used for cultivation because the soil is very fertile and everything can grow there. Then due to its high fertility, regions of alluvial soil are intensively cultivated and densely populated, and soil in the drier areas are more alkaline and can be productive after proper treatment and irrigation. So as this soil is very fertile, what happens? More and more people are moving to this northern plain where alluvial soil are there. So people are densely populated there, and you can imagine what kind of people will be staying there. They will be farmers. People who are interested in farming, they will be settling in that region. So they are really interested in farming and they know if you work hard, you will get good harvest. So that makes them encouraged, that make them interested in farming, and they do a lot of cultivation there. And therefore this certain areas where this alluvial soil is there is having certain elements like alkali. So if they do proper treatment to remove that extra alkaline from the soil, then that part also can be used for cultivation. So that is one of the major areas or major soil in our country, that is the alluvial soil, which is very good for cultivation of crops, almost all type of crops, especially sugarcane, rice, wheat and some pulses and so on. So this is mostly coming from the mountain tops. As the rivers are flowing down, they bring down the soil from the mountain tops and deposit in the plain area, and that way it becomes very fertile. And we said there are two type of soils are there based on the age. One is bunker, that is old alluvial soil. Another one is kadar, that is new alluvial soil. So in the bunker or in the old alluvial soil, we will find a lot of calcium elements, but the kadar or the new alluvial soil is more fertile as it is renewed every year by the river water. More soil or new soil is brought, and that way it becomes more fertile, more good, more suitable for cultivation. So this is an important region in our country, especially for agriculture, and more people are flocking there. Area is densely populated because people want to cultivate there and get more harvest, more crops, and so they are working hard and they are settled there. So we shall wind up for today, and you read your textbook again and again and try to understand the terms, the importance of the soil, how it is formed, and where are the areas that is found, all this try to find out and learn nicely. So thank you for listening. Have a nice day. Bye.